Welcome back, Soft Hands. We're down to the final stretch on this one, guys. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on an intro. We got lots to get done so we can get this thing started. That's what we're working on. Let's just get after it. Took a little break from electrical to do some wire wheeling. I was just missing it, you know. Hadn't done it for several days working on the electrical stuff. And pretty much after nearly a decade of measuring progress by how much I'd done wire wheeling, felt a little weird going that many days without doing it. So anyways, this needed to be done. I'm definitely going to put these on. Whether I get a new pipe or not remains to be seen before I go do the first startup, but I wanted these for sure on. And considering that graphite stuff does nothing as far as preventing rust or converting or doing anything like that, I wanted to get it as clean a rust as I could. And then what I'm going to do is use phosphorus on it too, so that it converts all of the rust that is there before I go coating it with the graphite. Hopefully that'll do something, because I mean, nothing else is going to work. You know, I could do the high heat engine paint stuff, Rust-Oleum or primer even, but what you end up with that stuff that I've seen is that it eventually just burns off, and that's your issue. Well, the graphite's never going to burn off, but if you have an undercoating of high heat primer or whatever, then it's going to come off with that. So I'm just going with as bare metal as I can. Phosphorus, just wipes dust after it converts the rust. Hopefully it'll last a while. I mean, this is kind of experimental. We'll see after a few years what it does. Yeah, see, it turned a bunch of it black. So that's an indication it converted some rust. So even though it looked like it was all bare metal, this was the right thing to do. I did it again. I got the wrong filter. I ordered it online. And that is massively too large. I think even diameter, it's too large. And no, I didn't go to O'Reilly's or whatever to get it, the local stuff. But because, first of all I had for an option was ship to store. Nobody had it in stock. And it was $40. Yes, I've spent more on that than $40 on the 2 cartridges I've got now. But that was an Amazon, so I'm hoping I can actually get my money back out of that one. All right, we're back at it with this nonsense. All right, I got a battery out of the Chevy, and I already got this thing worked here, but just to show you, I got to the 12 volts. I got 12 volts over here, blah, 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 blah. I wonder if I still have this unlocked. Okay, so nothing here. I click, push the button. We got 12. We got 12. We got 0.01. Then it goes away. So you got to tell me. I have no idea. I give up. I guess I'm just going to use the signal wire for the solenoid on the starter. I don't know what to do. Is this thing bad? I mean, it's not unheard of, and it would be my luck, I guess. Before I get started, I wanted to thank Prowbar for commenting on my last, couple of videos ago now, about how this bracket is supposed to go. This is actually, as I suspected, it looks like it would fit exactly like one of these block plates does, and he confirmed that. Well, I go to look at it, going, I never could get it right. I never figured out the right direction to geometry. Well, it was literally sitting just this way. All I had to do was swing it and pull that bolt out and just swing it over, and it was exactly where it's supposed to be. Now, he did mention that you could replace these block plates with it. This one this is how it would have come, because it had both block plates on it when I took all this stuff apart. So I'm just going to do this. I don't know. I don't see any real advantage to not replacing the block plate, other than that's the original block plate, and this had to have been the way it was since both of them were here. So I'm just going to stick with it. Doesn't matter, but looks so much better. That makes so much more sense. I appreciate it. Once again, GMC 6066 GMC Club comes through. 90% of what I've done in having to figure these things out has come from those guys, and I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate you. And also he pointed out too that it's probably going to be better to use a quarter drill when I go to soak in this with oil again. Obviously, waiting on that oil filter, which I'll explain in a minute. But very valid point. Don't have to worry about running out of juice, and that impact's probably was kind of scaring me. I was having to give some impact. But anyways, I'll probably do that because I do want to soak it down and not worry about batteries. So the oil filter, another thing from 6066 GMC Club. I broke down. I bought the expensive one from O'Reilly, and it was wrong again. So that was third incorrect oil filter cartridge here. So I finally went onto the forum site, because listen, guys, I would go there first, but it's an oil filter cartridge. How hard could it be? But it's very hard. Everything is. So anyways, I go on there and find, sure enough, the one I just got from O'Reilly's is mentioned on there as, don't let them give you this one. It's not the correct one. It's this one. So I ordered that one. The wife's taken that one back, and the other one was shipped to store is there. So she's picking that up now. And it does remain to be seen to verify that is, in fact, the correct one. But, I mean, look, I put it had the truck, the year, the engine, everything was exactly right, and they gave me the wrong oil filter. I put the one in that the guys say on 6066 GMC Club is the correct one, and it says will not fit your truck, according to O'Reilly. So we're going to find out, and then we're just going to say that's the way that this stuff just is. And so that's the way it is. Okay, heavily simplified version. No more fancy stuff. I decided to go ahead and keep using the switch rather than the screwdriver just because I got more control and, doing the vice grip thing to the board and all that, so that I can just, kind of reach down here and push the start and it'll do the thing. But now what I got is just a ground wire for the coil. I got the ballast resistor hanging off of the coil, and the other end's just going to go straight to the battery. And then I've got, this is going to go to the battery, power side, and then this is the other side of the switch, which I still also used the harness because the wires were already stripped, and I don't feel like doing that either. So we got, the white for that side, and the brown will go to the battery, and those are on both sides of the switch. So this will get the signal, in any case, to the starter to go ahead and do the thing when I push the button. And that's this simple, way more simplified way of doing it, and will work. I don't have to have got this going straight to the battery, so I won't have to worry about it losing voltage when I hit the switch and all that nonsense. So I'll figure out the other solenoid relay deal-a-hooey once I get to actually wiring the harness and stuff for this. But I just want to be able to start the thing. So this is how this is going to go now. And so that's pretty much my wiring. Don't you just kind of hate it, though, when you're spending the time kind of having fun, setting up a little control panel. It's going to be cool. Got the little flippy switch thing. For it to all fail miserably and go back to striking two stones together to get the thing to work. It's the way it is. All right, I'm going to finish putting these on. Less convenient here. It's gone forever. Closes that. Okay, this is a little different. This has 2 gaskets on it, and when I took it off, it had 3 gaskets. I can't figure out why you would want 2 gaskets on one side other than they had a leak, but that's not usually the answer. So hopefully this all works out, and keeping everything lined up is going to be fun. This little valve here will still operate where it's at. I can only assume is that it's for when it's cold, and it keeps it closed until it heats up, and then it closes the valve. Or opens the valve, sorry. It's already closed and it opens the valve. But I don't understand how shutting off airflow from one side is supposed to do the thing, but that, that's, engineers did it. I'm sure it's the right thing. I'm just gonna leave it the way it was. And if I gotta manually operate the valve the first time of starting it or whatever, I guess that's what I gotta do. But I just don't get it, but it's okay, because I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer anyway. I don't think I have to understand it for it to work. Once again, can you imagine just laying under here, or I don't know, over the fender well, trying to get this stuff to work and come together. Alrighty, I'll tighten those up and we're done with that. Alright, both sides are on, and you can see I scuffed it. That's what I've been doing. So I'm just gonna have to come back after all this stuff's done. I haven't even started yet. I got scuffs here and there and everywhere. So I'm just gonna come back with a cap full of paint and hand brush all that stuff. Didn't have a chance to get to the shop to have the pipe bent, but I just happened to look over, and I thought that my muffler was long since gone, because I had to fight to get it off, and I kind of mangled it a little bit, and I thought I just dumped it, but I looked over at my scrap pile, and there it was. So this is probably the 1960 original is my guess, muffler for the thing. And she's got a couple of whistles in it, and the pipe too in here. But I'm getting too close now to the point of actually being able to start it, to go and have them spend a month bending me a pipe and all that kind of stuff for this. And I know you don't need it. I could just go with it as is. But I got a thing at JB Weld, and those aren't those big of holes. That's not that bad. Where I mangled it was up at the top. Oh, there's some more holes. Right here, actually, this is, I think, the bottom. But, I just bent it, getting the strap off of it. So I think I'm going to go actually and JB Weld all the holes, just again for this temporary startup thing. And then, it's going to sound gooder, a lot gooder with the pipe on it and everything, and muffled and all that. So, and the way it's supposed to. So I'm going to do it. What the heck? It'll take me 10 minutes to JB Weld the thing, and then I can put it on. Come on. Anyway, something like that. I know what you're saying. Why even bother replacing this pipe? I think that's going to do for a little test. It's actually time for this radiator now. This was brand new, probably, I don't know, going on 10, 11 years now. But the one when we rescued it, oh, that's nice. was shot. Rescued it from the side of Pop's house, and it had holes all in it and everything was rotted out. So this was new, bought at that point, so should just be a matter of cleaning it up for the most part, other than things like that, which I don't know. I may spray it. I probably won't. If I clean it and then decide to spray it, I'm probably just going to spray over kind of as a touch-up rather than redoing the whole thing, because it's fine. It's a tad worser than I thought. This is kind of interesting because that looks like water deposit stuff. I'm wondering if we had a little leaking going on for this damage. I don't know. But none of it's particularly what you'd call nice. So probably going to do a scuff and shoot on it, but not obviously until I'm done testing. So it's fine for now. Just got all the main scuzz off of it. Also, I'm probably just going to do distilled water. I don't want to waste $50 worth of antifreeze. But no hose water will ever go in this for the rest of its life. Distilled water or antifreeze, and that's it. I spent some time setting this up yesterday. And it needs to be a lot closer than what I was thinking. I was starting out here, and then the hoses that I've got for it are a lot shorter. So I got to bring it up from here to go to the bottom hose. Anyways, I got some more work to do there to get that lined up so I can put hoses on it. The old bottom one is just, well, that's the top. Anyways, it's just shot. I don't know that I could even test with this one. I mean, it's compromised pretty severely. But I think this piece I got here will probably work. Just kind of testing, fitting it a little bit. Which I think I'm gonna, since I gotta take this all off anyway, I'm gonna put this on the radiator so it's ready to go. While it's on the ground, it's gonna be a lot easier. And then the top one's not in great shape, but it will work, I think, for a test. That'll tell me how close I need to be and how high. Good thing it's not full. It's not exactly light, and it's very awkward sized, but we'll get it there. Got the top hose on. Looks pretty. It's dipped a little though. I had a 4x4 in there and it was too high, and this is a hair low, but I think that's gonna play well for this bottom one because I gotta bend it pretty good angle off of the top to get to the radiator. And it's fighting me, of course. I'm gonna try heating it up first of all, kind of at the bend. All right, that's about as on as it was originally. It leans just a wee bit there, but plenty of clearance, both top and bottom for that fan, so that should do it. I'm going to use my original panel here for temperature gauge. I was thinking I'll have to buy one. Well, of course I'd have to wait on it for one thing, but why buy one when I've got one? The oil pressure is an idiot light, so that wouldn't have really helped me there, but I can use a temperature gauge. I'll just put it over there next to my control panel. I'm gonna try to hang this with this one bolt and then wire or strap or something the rest of the pipe up for the remainder so it lines up better. Start some threads. Come on. One of them had kind of some boogered threads, and I bet I picked that one. All right, good enough. Get off of me. And hopefully that's out of my way enough to do the thing. So I must, drive shafts right through here. This probably hangs a little lower. Not that I need to worry about that right now, just thinking. Oh. You guys can watch, but you got to stay out of the way. Okay, good enough. And we have exhaust. Why not? I think I'm just gonna leave those straps. They're just cheapies, and they won't burn up. I'm not gonna run it long enough to set them on fire. They might char a little bit, but I don't care. Those are way more convenient than messing with wire and scuffing up all my paint and stuff, so that'll be fine. Okay, attempt number 4 to replace the oil filter cartridge. I've been sort of against doing the conversion to canister, but I think I might go ahead and oh, ah! I guess I'll go ahead and empty the oil. Oh man. Might as well save a couple of ounces. I'm definitely going to be a quart low, I think, when it's all done here. And short a few more rags. That sucker is slippery. Of course, I won't know I'm a quart low because I don't have a tube, dipstick tube. Okay, well that plus that, I guess, is going to equal, shoot, I'm wondering if I maybe have it upside down. Yep. Awesome. Okay, well, no, that didn't matter. I just needed to make more of a mess. Yeah, I think I'm going to this conversion. This is ridiculous, honestly. Just finding the right part was bad enough. I don't remember, I changed the oil, obviously, on this thing before shutting it down. And then I, don't recall this being such a pain. Okay, that's hooked up. Now let's clean up a little bit so I can actually turn it on there. I'll keep all the cartridge stuff, obviously. And, if I feel like I'm losing car shows for unauthenticity or something, I doubt that's the only reason I would lose them. I had somewhere to kneel that wasn't covered in oil. Okay, before I ran that up tight, I decided to take it back off and see if it was better to put the gasket on there first. And it is a gasket, it's not a seal. And sure enough, it would have pinched. There's no way to just set it on top and do that. So I did something right anyway. because I don't want to do this a fifth time. You know, I guess if you're doing it the right way and you have the right part the first time, it might not be too horrible, but I don't know. I'll think on it. Not going to be something I do right away. Anyway, this is kind of annoying though, no matter what. For the love of Pete, this thing's long. Okay, per my friend Prowbar, I'm going to use a corded drill, mostly corded drill. And we're going to check our oil pressure again and make sure that's a thing and that it doesn't leak all over the place. All right, here we go. Whoa. That was almost 60. All right, well, if she's going to leak, that was a great tip, Prowbar. I got way more out of that than that impact. Awesome. No leaking. I don't even need to show you, I promise. It's just not leaking. That was a lot of pressure. That's still in there. No, it's not in there. Okay, but it was a lot of pressure, and that would be blowing over by now. So we got that issue resolved, and I'm not seeing anything else. Valve covers hanging in there. I'm a little scared to, I know it runs a bit. I'm a little bit, I definitely won't run it at 50. That seems a bit high for this motor. I was kind of thinking that 30 seemed about right, honestly. But yeah, nothing's leaking. Check underneath on the plug. All right, let's just see how we can do with the sustaining it at, I'll look right away. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm barely moving and going to 30. Oh yeah, that's much more like it. Heck yeah. I was just barely moving and keeping up 30. Pretty well done underneath. I think it's been kind of annoying with the wheels turning and stuff. And take it off the stands. All right, I'm torquing these down, but this torque wrench doesn't go that low. So I put it below its lowest setting. I mean, really, it's just tight. It's, wow. It seems like I'm putting a lot on that for 23, essentially, PSI. I just don't want to put too much or too little because I don't want these things leaking. This one, thanks to the brazing, I can't even get a socket on and barely get a wrench. I don't think I got the right, it's still not tight enough. I literally don't have the flats with this in the way. I got a little bit from here, but I can't get the wrench to do the thing. I'm gonna call it probably good enough. I may try a little bit more, and of course we'll eventually have to fix my scuffed up painting, but everywhere. But I'll have to ultimately cut a 9/16 wrench so that it fits in there, because this is not going to be sufficient permanently. All right, it's time for the juice machine. I took off the little hunk of fuel line. It's pretty crunchy, so I'm not going to use it. There it goes, crunch, crunch. I needed fuel line anyway because I need to replace that other piece here on the the other side of the fuel pump, but I don't have any, so that's going to be a parts store run. These are the only thing, and there's a stack of them, and they're just pieces of cardboard that I've got for the fuel maker happener thing. But they just don't, they barely go on here. I think I'm gonna need to open this hole just a little bit. Anyway, we'll experiment with it, and hopefully they don't go to something else. I mean, the hole fits, other than they have these little flat edges on them. Not completely round, but the hole is otherwise exactly the fit. And these are real close, just a hair off. So. Okay, well, that goes on there. All right, that should do her. Does it go under there? Yeah. Okay. There it is. All right. Wrench time. And she's about ready, I'd say. I'm glad I don't have to worry about linkage or anything yet. This will be something like that. As of Thursday, I was completely caught up with video. So the last video I put out was all the way till Friday. Started new videos on Friday. Today is Sunday. It's Sunday afternoon, and this morning I had filled up my TV camera / phone. So I got a lot of video is what I'm trying to say, and highly unlikely, almost certainly going to be at least 2 videos, possibly 3. We'll have to see. I'm on my last little thing that I have to resolve before I start it. But you're not going to see it on this video. We're done with this one, I'm sure. This will be somewhere in the middle. The good news is that I'll try at least to edit these one a day. So there'll be a video a day coming out until it started. Hang in there. I'm seriously very close. It might be the next video. It might be the video after that. Keep watching. It's coming.